Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So as you can hear in the background, there is a fan on. It is roasting here in the UK at the moment. It's lovely, but it's humid and I hate humidity. So anyway, enough about that. This week, for your key to the week, you have the Moon card. So I'm going to be really honest with you. It's funny, as I pulled this card up and I put it up there for you, I feel like this is going to be a bit more of an emotional week for you, Taurus. I feel like you may be not necessarily emotionally compromised, but I feel like this might be a bit of a... It might be harder for you to pinpoint the exact emotions that you are actually feeling, right? So you could be having experiences, responses or reactions to certain experiences this week. And you could be like, okay, well, I'm reacting, but I don't really know how I actually feel about what it is that's taking place. Remember, the Moon card can sometimes... and it's interesting because as I'm filming this video, the moon is currently exalted because it's in Taurus. But your Moon card there for this week ahead, I feel like it's going to be quite hard for you to pinpoint the exact emotion that you are actually feeling. So whatever it is that you do this week, or however it is that you respond or react to something, ask yourself before you act on it, how do I actually feel? Like, what is it that I'm actually feeling at the moment? And like I was going to say, remember the Moon card can sometimes see situations being a bit wishy-washy, where you might not necessarily have all of the clarity that you need in order to make a right decision. For your actions and options this week, you've got the 5 of Pentacles. So this week, it may very well be, if you're finding that things aren't going your way, or you are experiencing some sort of lack, or maybe something doesn't happen quite the way that you wanted it to, ask yourself, am I throwing the baby out with the bathwater this week? So it looks like there could be some sort of expense that comes up unexpectedly, or it may very well be as well that there's something that you want to do or something that you move towards and it doesn't quite happen the way that you wanted it to. It doesn't quite happen. And you know, sometimes when we don't get exactly what we want in the way that we want it, I do it, you know, I try not to do it as often now that I'm an adult and I have to take full responsibility. But you know, we can kind of say, oh well, you know, that's it then, fuck it, and I'll throw it out. Well, try not to do that this week. Try to just see it exactly what it is and say, right, okay, well, you know what, where is the glass half full this week? For your communications and conversations, you've got the 8 of Pentacles. It may very well be that some of you had hoped for a certain promotion. Maybe you'd had hoped for some sort of certain leg up, and maybe you don't get it, or maybe you get the promotion but you don't get the financial perks from the promotion that you were hoping for. It looks like this week you are getting what you want when it comes to work, when it comes to, you know, some move or some action that you're taking, but it's not exactly the way that you wanted it. Like, maybe the nuance isn't there, maybe the detail isn't there, but what you've asked for, you're getting, just not necessarily in the package that you'd hoped it would have come. When it comes to communications and conversations this week as well, you are going to have to work really hard to keep your emotions and your communications separate. And this week you really do need to find a way to do that, because as I said, with that Moon card, you could be feeling all kinds of, right? For your money and materials, we have the Strength card. So what does this mean, right? Well, it means that when it comes to your money, when it comes to your finances, it kind of suggests that you're going to have to stick it out, right? When it comes to work, when it comes to some sort of financial goal, maybe some sort of financial movement that you had hoped to see, you're being asked, or you're being called upon here to really sit with exactly what you have, as opposed to what it is that you would like it to be, or what it is that you would make it. Now, when it comes to your money, you've got the Strength card. So this is about really taking stock of what you actually do have. This is a week for you to do some kind of inventory when it comes to the finances, Taurus. And it's really weird to have to say this to you guys, because, you know, for the most part, Taurians and Capricorns, I would say, actually, and Virgos and Scorpios. Right, when it comes to money, you guys tend to be really good with it. It just looks like something has either gone out of bounds, or maybe you're having to pull it back. I don't know why, it just feels like there's something that maybe is over budget, or, you know, and where usually you'd be like, you know what, I can fit that in. I think this time it's like you're being a bit more sensible. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this comes up for, you know, all of you in your separate ways. For your physical health this week, look after your physical body. You could be feeling a bit depleted of your vitality, of your vital energies this week, and if that is the case, it's really important. The thing that you can do to alleviate this is to do what you love. What is it that makes you laugh? What is it that is fun for you? What is it that is enjoyable for you to do? Once you figure that out, I think this week, the second you start to feel depleted, do something that you find fun, do something that you find enjoyable. The second you do that, I actually feel like you will stave off some of those harder, tougher effects. And then for your home and environment, it may very well be that some sort of work that you wanted to do on the home, or something that you wanted to buy for the home, is now going to cost you more than it was originally. And there might be some sort of frustration around or towards that. Again, if that is the case, what is it that you're actually reacting to? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'll give you an example. You know, like when we were little, this happened to all of us. Like, you know, you did something really small and your mum just absolutely lost it at you, and you were like, oh my gosh, like I moved a rug out of place. Do you know what I mean? That was every day for me. But you know, like there's that you know thing when somebody's been bottling something up, and this is why this week it's going to be really important for you to pay attention to what you're actually reacting to, and ultimately why. So, you know, if you go to purchase something and they say, oh, you know, we had an offer on that and now it's actually full price, and you absolutely lose your marbles, what else is going on with you? This could be a really emotionally volatile week for you guys, so just be aware. For your love and relations, you have the Eight of Swords. This is not necessarily an easy week for you guys, but what I can tell you as some good news is you've got the Eight of Pentacles, you've got the Eight of Swords, and the Strength card is also number 8. So you've got 3 8s here. 8, the number of the material world, the material realm. It could be that this week you are balancing out some sort of karma. So this could be financial boosts, but it could also be financial expenses. There's something this week, think of it like a set of scales. Your finances and the energy of your money and your prosperity this week is regulating itself according to your karmic energies. For those of you that are single, that Eight of Swords, you could, you know, I say this really gently, you could be feeling really single this week. If you are single and you've been, you know, trying to date someone, or you're missing someone, or you wanted to be with someone, you could really feel the absence of another person in your life this week. And, you know, sometimes that mental sort of prison that we put ourselves in can be the worst one out there. You know, it can be worse than any solitary confinement. It's not that. It's when this creates a prison for you that you really that we can really suffer as human beings. Trust me, I know that from experience. So this week, if that is the case, fun, enjoyment, vibrancy. The second you feel yourself dip in, reach out to your people, go out with friends, go dancing, go drinking, maybe not to excess, especially with these cards actually. You know, go dancing, go drinking, go out with your friends, call people up, go for a run, do something that is going to snap you out of that energy so that you can, you know, you can dissipate it, because you might be feeling it a lot this week. For those of you that are partnered, this week you could be feeling, you know what, it doesn't matter what we do. Like, you know, when we do this, when we go this way, it happens like this. When we go that way, it happens like this. Like, when are we going to catch a break? You could be feeling really under it this week. Yeah, you know, you could just be feeling really... Yeah, just you could be, it's almost not trapped by your relationship, but this could be a week where it's like the problems that you might have had. And it's interesting because last week we saw you coming out of that, and this week it kind of feels like a lot of what's going on with you internally is going to be expressed throughout the sectors of your life. So this week, remember to try and stay conscious and pinpoint exactly what you're feeling, because once you name and shame that feeling, you can then not yourself, don't shame yourself, but shame the feeling, right? Once you okay, so that's guilt, or that's imposter syndrome, or it's self-loathing or self-doubt. It's that's you there in the background of all of this, making me behave in A, B and C way. Do you see where I'm coming from? And I hope that helps you. I wish I could have given you brighter and lighter news, but it does feel like a very internal week for you guys this week. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week, or as best as you possibly can. Remember, reach out. Whenever you feel that dip happening, get out of it, right? Snap yourself out of it. Reach out to people. Go out. Do something out there in the world, because that's how you're going to dissipate the energy this week. All right. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.